Hey gang, Ryan Cozy with the Chapel at Crosspoint. Wanted to give a brief update as to some of the things that are going on within the network. Also, just as I say all the time, if you know of other stories or other things that are going on, would love to post those and keep people in the communicative loop on some of the stuff that's going on. I think a good example of that recently was in Huntington, West Virginia, where there was a very fun time that Mark White and a number of other folks within the Huntington area that are part of a renovation community went through the My Circle training initiative that Jim Murphy has been developing and honing in on out of Syracuse. And so it seems like some great things happen there. Would love to hear more stories like that if you hear of neat things that are going on in and around your Jerusalem context. First thing I want to let you know is this upcoming March 10th, so not this Saturday, but next Saturday, I'm going to be heading out to Los Angeles to work with one of our key partners in Orange County, John Blue. Looking forward to that time. We'll be doing some time of strategy with regard to the church and in relation to their geography, but a host of things that we'll be discussing. And it's always great to just connect with him as well interpersonally. But just ask that you would be praying for Pacific Point Church and some of the things that are going on in and throughout the Orange County area with renovation partner churches. In addition to that, on the 14th and the 15th, we will get together. I mentioned this, I think, last week, but we're going to get together again with our Christ Together partners in Chicago. Very much looking forward to that time. There have been some really fun developments over the past couple of months in regard to just greater partnership and what that looks like. And so we'll be meeting on the 14th and the 15th of March. Very much looking forward to that. And we'd ask that you pray for us during that time as well. Third thing is I have a chance to go out to Syracuse on March 26th, and I'll be spending the day with Jim Murphy, Adam Bregu, and Jordan Stinziano. And one of the things I'm really excited about in hanging out with the guys from Missio and Adam as well is it seems as if within our partnership of churches that the My Circle training initiative really has started to take on some substantial traction. And so not just with one church, but with a couple of churches of varying sizes and different geographies. And so we're going to spend the day together just talking about the impact of the My Circle training initiative and just learning a little bit more about how it's impacting the Syracuse area. But also there have just been other cities and other churches in other cities that have started to utilize and ask for Jim's help. And so we're just going to strategize around how could we make this just helpful tool for any and all churches within our partnership of churches that want to go through it and want to learn about being intentional relationally and evangelistically. And so what I like about that is in the past you may have heard Dwight talk about the concept of evangelization, not just evangelism but evangelization, which really gets to the heart of giving repeated opportunities for every man, woman, and child, not just a one-off initiative. And I actually feel like with Jim's gifting as an evangelist, I think he's really captured the heart of this. And I'm very much looking forward to learning more about that and discovering more about how God is using that training in Syracuse, but also in other cities, and perhaps our ability to come alongside and help out in whatever capacity we can possible. Final thing I'd like to say is coming up later in the month of March, I'm going to be headed to Dallas to work with an organization called His Bridge Builders. This is an organization that's actually starting to help us here in Western New York. I actually was connected with them through a renovation partner of ours, Dan Trippi at Restoration Church. And I've just started to get a little bit more of a feel for their organization. They had some interest in learning more about what we're doing with regard to partnerships in the urban, suburban, and rural contexts in regard to the evangelization of a demography. And I actually had some strong interest in how they're tackling some of the urban center initiatives in the Dallas metropolitan area. So just ask that you would pray for that time later this month. Could be another strategic connect for us relationally, where we're able to not only help them, but they're able to help us. And those are always, those reciprocal relationships are huge as we try to get after giving every man, woman, and child that repeated opportunity for hearing, seeing, and responding to the gospel. The last thing that I'll mention is we're at the chapel here. We're getting ready to distribute some findings of our year 1 versus year 2 summary of looking at the data in regard to the spiritual formation and the missional behavior assessment. And as we do that with our senior team and our lay leaders, the reality is they're very likely soon we'll be distributing that and allowing folks to take a look at that to get a feel for some of the different approaches that we're taking with what we're learning. I also want to just mention that if you've gone through this in the past, I know I've said this before, but I've been really blessed in the last couple of months to have two people come alongside of me. One as a part-time volunteer, and then the other is as a faculty or a partner of ours at the University of Buffalo who specializes in writing up executive summaries. And given the amount of work that I've had to do in analyzing data, I haven't been able to do the executive summary arm of things as much as I would like. And so God's brought someone into the partner realm where it's really cool because it promotes this idea of interdependence. But we've had some really cool things happen over the past couple of months that I think that this assessment and the write-up of this assessment, which I think is really important, this could be a framework for how we're able to help tell the story of data in your churches year by year. And so I'm looking forward to sending that out once that's completed. But I wanted to keep you all in the communicative loop about that and let you see it. As we discover things here, if it helps you all, man, we want you to discover things there as well. God bless you, gang. I hope you have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you soon.